Hello. Are we live? I don't know. Guys, I know, guys, stop blaming me that I'm not streaming. There's a lot of things that is happening. Alright. So today is a very unique stream. I actually met Midnight Hurricane a while back in surprisingly it's Instagram. And I reached out and like asked like, hey, do you want to come to a podcast? Because I host random I host random topic podcast which is really unrelated to VTuber at some point. I mean the past two podcasts everyone's seen that I did with AGC TV and then Corey Ojo from the US as well. So today we have Midnight Hurricane with us, and before that I should wear headphones as well. So yeah, we will have open topic sharing sessions with Midnight Hurricane on what it takes to be a racer, and sometimes I even wonder how can a racer can actually become a VTuber as well. So yeah, give me a sec. Let me just unmute the audio. Okay, give me a sec. Of course, feel free to ask any question in the chat, guys. Feel free to ask. Hello, Midnight Hurricane. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I'm just starting my stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry. Start your do you need some time? I mean, I can wait a bit. Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. So.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If you need to let it run, we can wait a bit. No worries. Again, it's very chill. Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready. Yeah.
No, it's already started. Like
Oh,
I already clicked like start streaming. So.
oh, oh. Okay. So let me look at your stream.
Hi everyone, welcome in to the stream. Today I've been invited to this podcast by Taka here. Um, so yeah, let's see how this goes. Hi
Yes.
everyone, welcome in.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I would like to say thank you again for actually accepting my invitation. I mean, it's been a while I hosted a podcast. But when I saw your content, when I first met you was on Instagram. I think it was like January, right? If I'm not mistaken. I was kind of surprised because last year I spoke to another VTuber who actually invited NASCAR racer into the VTuber scene. I was kind of surprised, and when I saw your
NASCAR
car,
racer.
yes,
Wait.
it was the VTuber name was actually my previous guest. She's called Corey Ojo. She hosted a lot of crazy collabs. One of them is NASCAR collab, which I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah. So when I found out that you're a racer and a VTuber at the same time, I'm like, whoa. Let's get this straight. I have a younger dream. I used to dream of being at the tracks, but then like my parents just say no. They just say no. It's not a thing that you can get into it, and you might get hurt easily. So that's a dream that I never end up making it happen. Yeah.
I mean, it's never too late to start.
I I mean, I can't say that I'm old, but I'm already around the above 25 age ish, but
I've
not.
seen people start at 30 or even later. I've seen like look in Chinese F4 we even have drivers who's like 50 something.
Oh my
They
god.
retired. They had a company that had a successful life. They retire and then boom, they start racing. It's never too late.
Wow, guys, now I'm more surprised that anyone can become a racer at this point, right? And I thought that the fitness and you have to go for an intense workout session, blah blah blah, in order to become a racer.
It really just depends what you want to drive. So I mean, like go kart, and I mean like open wheels. Like I mean, starting from go kart all the way to Formula, it's requiring. But I mean, if you want to do some entry level like touring cars, those are really not that physically demanding. For example, I did the MX5
Oh,
2 weeks ago.
wow.
The steering wheel was very light. You know, it was like just like in iRacing. I know some of the people in the chat know the steering wheel was very light. You know, it just almost feel like it's like weightless almost. And you know, the G-force wasn't really high because after all, it's the MX5 doesn't have a lot of aerodynamics. So,
Ah.
um, it's not really tiring to drive. I drive for like an hour straight. You know, I drove all the way till the fuel tank was empty, and then I came in for the pit. Like I drove all the way like an hour straight without stopping, and it wasn't even tiring. So yeah, it really just depends on what you drive.
I see, I see. I am more curious to get into the racing part, but again, guys, before we start on the exciting part, okay? Before we start on the exciting part, let us understand who is Midnight Hurricane first. That's the most important thing, of course. So,
Yes.
please give a introduce about yourself. Yeah.
Hi. I'm Midnight Hurricane. I am a racing VTuber and I race in real life. I have scored like Chinese F4 podium on my debut race, and that's about it. I'm moving on to like British GT this year. Trying to get into racing to like GT4 category.
Ooh.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I've been streaming for 5 years and I've been racing for 10 years. I've started with karting. Um, and yeah, there's many things I can talk about, but I guess that's for later on in this podcast, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, all the exciting part. I know. I have a friend in the chat, Primer IST. Welcome, welcome. He's
Welcome,
also
Primer. Oh, nice.
Primer is like
Uh,
a huge fan of like in our Malaysian community into cars. He's really into cars. Let's just say.
yes. He raced with us during the N24. I invited him to our Chinese N24 earlier this year in January.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember
So
that.
it was really nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Primer, I hope you enjoy. It's unexpected that we are having this podcast here, but I hope you enjoy. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of surprised because you said you have been streaming for 5 years, right? Am I
Yeah.
not hearing that wrong?
You're not
So
here now. So yeah.
so how do you get into this streaming at the same time? Was it during the time that you are doing both as a professional racer training kind of thing, or is it before you got into racing you are already streaming to begin with?
No, I was like racing at a very young age. So obviously at young age, I wanted to be F1 driver. So parents was really supportive, and they got me into karting really early. Um, and I've been racing for like since I was 8 years old, and then like I've been racing for quite a while, and then like I was like 13 or 14, something like that, and then I have a friend who was trying to get into VTubing.
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't even know what VTubing is, but I'm more into like back then, you know, I was just 13, you know, 13 years old. Who do you what can you expect, right? Like
Yeah.
I was into like creating original characters, like
Yeah.
um you know, creating original characters and, you know, role playing with it. And so like I find this VTubing thingy very intriguing. It's like, you know, a new form for me to create an original character. So I didn't really intentionally I didn't, you know, got into VTubing because I watched VTuber or say I'm a big VTuber fan. I am now, yes, but like previously I didn't even know what that was. So just only my friend told me, you know, there's this VTuber thing, and you know you can make your avatar move around. So I was like, oh, that's a really good, you know, role play. I can role play as my original character better. So, so I was like, okay, let me get into this, cause she wanted to do VTuber as well. So I wanted to, you know, say, you know, collab with her after maybe I debuted it and whatever. But yeah, and in the end, I debuted it and she did not. So, which is a bit awkward. Yeah,
Wait,
nah, you're
wait.
right there. Yes.
Your
She
friend
did
rope
not.
you. She
No,
rope you
she
in.
should. No, she never debuted in 5 years, but she's still helping me now with the VTuber rigging and modeling stuff.
I
She's helping
see.
me with new designs recently. Yes, there's a new design of me coming up
Oh,
really soon,
nice,
but
nice, nice.
uh,
Early info.
yeah.
Early
But
tease.
yeah, that'll be revealed at my fifth debut anniversary. That's like July, so stay tuned. But yeah, so that's how I got into VTubing. Sort of like I just got it into it, and then like, you know, I just did it, and then it just carried on because I'm just someone who just says, if I'm doing something, I'm going to dedicate to it, no matter what it is. So,
Mm,
I got into it. I know I got too far to quit, and I find this pretty interesting. I mean, I've always wanted to create content. Uh, I mean, at younger times, at like I was 12 or something, tried to make YouTube channels and all that, but
yeah.
obviously 12-year-olds, me knowing nothing about video editing, and was just a big failure. Made loads of video, nobody watched them, so I was like, whatever. And but like VTubing gave me a new shot because I don't have to reveal my real face, which made me feel a bit more comfortable about it. So and yeah, and once I started making, I posted, and a lot of YouTubing a lot of YouTuber they do like casual like chatting or gaming and whatever, and they attract fans using that. And I was like, okay, I'm not good at chatting, I'm not good at gaming. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna post whatever I do best, which is racing.
Yeah.
So I posted racing content, first on Bilibili. That's our like Chinese,
Yes,
basically
yes,
our
yes.
Chinese website for like it's like YouTube equivalent. I
Yes.
started posting there, posted my F4 video there, and people were like, "Wow, you're the first one to do that. You're unique." So I started gaining loads of followers, and I was like, "Okay, well, this is going in a good direction." So that's why I continued on doing this.
That's pretty amazing. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised because like I seen a lot of VTubers, some of them who does voice acting and they some of them does different kind of content, maybe cosplaying, love to make costume and stuff. But when you talk about someone is like in the sports, very competitive sports kind of should I call it industry? I'm not so sure. It's kind of rare at the same point, but it also make yourself much more unique at the same time. So yeah, I was very surprised about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I remember. Wait, yeah, I saw that video where you posted that you are a VTuber and a racer at the same time, and I was like, okay, is this like a normal kind of thing? Is it like a maybe what we call very regional kind of race or stuff? But when I found out it's like something much more bigger, like the equivalent of a proper racing track, those kind of thing, I was more shocked. I don't think I ever met anyone like that. So you're the first one as a
I mean,
VTuber.
there's another VTuber. There's Inazuma,
Ah.
Inazuma Super Speed. He also raced in real life
Oh,
professionally, I guess. Like yeah, he raced that four before, and a lot of different other series. And yeah, he's really he's in our team right now, and he's really close with me right now.
mm,
He's in Japan right now, trying to pursue like a second chance in his like racing career, which is
I
going pretty
see.
well for him right now. I think this weekend he's going on an audition to in a racing team, and if he succeed, he can get into racing again, which is
I
pretty good. Yeah.
see. I see. I see. That's very, very nice to hear. Especially like when it comes to sport, right? Getting a second chance, like let's treat it as the Olympic at the same time. It's like if you got if you hit a obstacle which maybe like injury or something, it's very hard for you to climb back at some point. I'm not so sure about the situation, but I'm just putting in a similar situation. But to see someone climbing back to pursue what they like is actually pretty amazing as you know, giving a second chance lah, like you said, and they are doing very well, which is a good thing. Yeah. Mm. Um so let's talk about your name. How do you came
Yeah.
up with the name? Yes.
Usually all of the names that came up are just me thinking too hard in a dream or whatever, like during sleeping. I just, because obviously I'm into Uma Musume. This is Uma
Yes.
Musume. I'm Uma Musume. Um, and you see Uma Musume horse names, right? Race horses
Yes.
names. If you look at those horse names, you feel like they are more of like an Xbox gamer tag, like those Xbox 360 gamer tags.
Yes, yes.
A word and a word, like just two random words mashed up together. And I was just sleeping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how the name kind of came. It's like I was thinking, okay, I should have a horse name that's pretty fast. Something I like, which is basically atmospheric stuff, which is like um, hurricanes, wind, whatever. So I was like, okay, definitely having hurricane in the name because hurricanes are like really fast. The wind speed goes up to like 200 miles per hour.
Yep.
Obviously, the city I live in, usually every year it gets hit by typhoon as well. A typhoon is just like hurricane but different name. Um,
Yes.
so so I was like, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the typhoon weather for some reason. I enjoy there's been heavy rain outside, heavy wind outside. I just find it really cool. Um, and then obviously at that time I was 14. I was really seeking for like nightlife sort of like because obviously 14 you're getting told to be in sleep at by 10 p.m. by your mom every day.
In
And
Chinese, we
like
call it the 叛逆时期 ah.
yeah, exactly that,
Don't worry, I can
exactly
speak
that,
Chinese.
yes.
I'm actually Chinese as well. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
uh so yeah, it was that
Rebellious
time.
period, guys. 叛逆 is rebellious period. You learn Chinese today.
Yep, it means rebellious. Yes, it
Yes.
was just you get told by your mom to sleep at 10 p.m. every day, and
And we
you
don't.
keep wondering what happens if you sleep past 12, right?
Yes.
This is where the name really came to be. Like so I was like a hurricane at midnight, and it's like because at that time when I was thinking that name it was kind of hurricanes like typhoon season. And it was that night there was like wind really just rolling outside. It was typhoon hitting my city, and
Yeah.
it was like wind rolling outside. It was like middle of the night. I just don't want to sleep anymore. And I just I open the curtain. I see outside rain pouring down. The city just even because the city I live in is very very big, and it's at even during like nighttime, midnight time, still very bright. There's still many building with lights on, and you just see the typhoon hitting the city, but the lights are still on. This vibe feeling just gives me like it's like the ideal life for me. I want to live this day every day. I want this to be every day. Like wind rolling outside, but the city still glows bright. It's like that cyberpunk feeling. Yeah,
Ah, yes,
yes, I love it.
understandable. But this is the
Yes,
first
I
time I
love
hear
that feeling.
anyone enjoy typhoon though. I'm
Oh yeah, I enjoy it a lot because like when typhoon hits, next day no school. So
okay.
that's
We
why I'm
all know the
enjoying
reason why. We all know the reason why. We all know the reason why Hurricane doesn't go to school anymore. Joke, 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 joke. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, cause like every time I hear people talking about typhoon, it's a natural disaster. 天灾, guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a natural disaster,
And
but
yet,
to
yeah, and
me,
yet I'm finding that you're kind of enjoying it.
it's like woo, no school next day. That's why I stay up all night. Like it just all made sense. Yeah.
Best tip, guys. If you want to be successful in life, live in a typhoon city and don't go to school. Not me trying to give bad education to you guys. Oh, don't learn from me. That was just a joke. It's just a joke. Please study well. Right. Oh my god, typhoon. Right. Let's move on to the next question is okay, let's talk about your streaming career. Like you stream for 5 years and which I like you just told me about it. I'm kind of surprised. What is the most memorable part you remember like throughout these 5 years? Is it something that's recently that you started booming up, or is it like something that you did in the past, or collab, or kind of partnership you did before? Yeah.
Well, I mean, 5 years. There's many, many, many big events, many milestones, and I mean, I don't know which one's the most memorable because like I just couldn't pick. There's so many moments. For example, when I first started, I didn't have high hopes because I just streamed. It was mediocre back then because like I was 14. I only had this VTuber model. It was like it was in really good quality as well because I kind of rushed it. I kind of just the first VTuber model of mine. It's like it looks like similar to what I have right now, just another set of clothes. But it's not that high quality because I kind of rushed the work. I rushed the modeler, rushed the artist because like I said, when I first debuted it, that friend of mine said she wanted to debut it in 1 week. So I was like, okay, I gotta debut in 1 week as well. So I kind of rushed everything. So it was mediocre back then. I had no streaming backgrounds. I had nothing. The gameplay I played was like blurry as hell. My computer didn't support very high quality streams. So it was just like it was just some random kids streaming like that kind of feeling. Just some random kids streaming
Yeah.
random blurry stuff on Bilibili, and it's like, nobody watched that. It's like I was just only had like 80, 100 follower back then. I was just stuck, and it was only until like I drove F4, so I was like, okay, I want to share it only on purpose of sharing. And I didn't expect it to blow up because F4 videos usually on Bilibili doesn't blow up
Yeah.
because F4 everyone knows that if you pay you can drive it, so to them there's nothing rare to it's doing that. And a lot of people post those kind of content, F4 driving. It's like and that back then I was like 14 trying to get into F4. I did one test drive and I got the recording, and I just posted like, oh, I'm a VTuber and I went to drive F4, and people were like, whoa, a VTuber driving F4, that's new. And I started blowing up. So that was like my first milestone, like gaining 1,000 follower within like 2 days or something. Suddenly out of nowhere, it's like me being stuck on 80 follower for like a month, and then suddenly gaining like 1,000, 2,000 follower
I
in
know
in
it's
day or
crazy.
two.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it just feels really unreal to me,
Yeah.
and that was like my first big milestone that just pushes me forward. That says, okay, you found your way, and now you can start making contents, similar to this, and then fans would love to watch it. So that's why what I decided to keep on doing. So that's the first milestone. The second milestone is probably me, well, I mean, I guess starting Xtreme, which is our VTuber racing club.
Mm.
We have like a lots of racing VTuber in the club. We do all sorts of races together. That was another big milestone because to me, also started as a joke. To me, a lot of like achievement I got is just because me posted it as a joke. Really, it's like me starting it not seriously. I did not really try intend to get into it seriously, but somehow it succeeded. It's kind of like how life works. Sometimes if you try too hard, you just never succeed. But
Yeah,
sometimes you just
yeah,
gotta relax
totally
and just
agree.
like chill out with it. Like just treat it unseriously, goof around. Sometimes you may find yourself successful. Like X-Ring is the same. I was browsing around Twitter. I saw like the first ever VTuber racing team was like called Kaneko Racing back then.
Oh.
Um, yeah, they were really big back then. They were like 2023. They were really really big back then. They had like 10 or something member, a lot of people, a lot of racing VTubers. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I could start my own racing VTuber team in China as well because in China back then there was only me. I want to know if there's more racing VTubers out there. So I started this team and I was like, oh, you know what? If people want to come, they come. If there's nobody joining, then that's it. Then that's just the attempt. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, let me just start this. So I posted saying, oh, I'm gonna start a team. Is anybody gonna join? And then some few people responded. They want to join, VTubers and stuff. And I let them in. Some of them are pretty talented. Some of them are faster than me even. We got pretty talented drivers. And then it's just starting growing bigger and bigger over the year. We started with like 3 or 4 people. Now we have 60 something members. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very huge milestone. Like you built something from zero to let's consider like zero to like 100 at least. Like that kind of influence. Yes, the influence is very strong over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in China right now, everyone knows that there is a VTuber racing club out there, and a lot of racing VTubers. I don't even have to invite them. A lot of Chinese racing VTubers, once they debut or something, once they found out about us, they just come to my DM say, "Oh, I want to join" or something like that. And we don't have, lots of restriction. We don't say, oh, you must be a really fast driver to join, or you must be like performing really well to join. We don't do that requirements because after all, I started this as a chill club. I started this as like people can just join, and they if they want to join, they join.
A safe
So
spot for racers, those who love racing games to hang out in a way, I guess.
yes, yes, exactly that. That's our goal. That's our goal. So like it's like the more the better because we have all sorts of players, all sorts of racing game player. We have the ones who are into sims, into iRacing, a set of courses, stuff like that. They do serious stuff. Then we
Yeah.
make then we do races together. And then we have the ones who like to play arcade games like Need for Speed or like Forza Horizon. They can also enjoy themselves together. So that's our goal. That's like we aren't just say, oh, we are only into sim racing or we are only into arcade. We're like we accept all kinds of people, even if you are not so on quote unquote racing VTuber. You're just a generic VTuber who's into cars. Then you can sure join because that's how we attracted some of the big names in the VTuber community to join us as well. Like there was like one. I mean, one of our most recent member who joined was a very famous voice actor who just turned into a VTuber recently. And she voice acted almost all the gacha games that you ever played. So the Chinese version, of course. Um,
Ah,
so all the gacha game you can think of, like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai
yes.
Star Rail, and um, Arc Knights, all the gacha games you can ever think of, she has all voiced those before. And she's very famous. Like she has like 300K followers on Bilibili. She is also a VTuber at the same time, and she just recently got into like racing and stuff. She's not really, say skilled compared to us, but we still said, join. And now she's like progressively learning how to, get more better at racing step by step. Because we every night we do like practices together, and she will pop into the VC and be like, listen along about tips and tricks here and there, and yeah, she's gradually getting better. So yeah,
Well, that's interesting. That is wow. Like I can't say like, when it comes to this kind of big VTubers or recognized name to pop up into a voice chat and actually learn how to play like sim racing. Like this is the first time I'm hearing about this. It's kind of very humble at the same time. It's like there is a lot of people outside, there are big names, and some of them, there is boundaries as well. But at the same time, there are also those who what we call considered humble, I guess. This is one of the kind that I'm hearing from you, which is I'm pretty amazed actually. I'm pretty amazed. Yeah.
yeah, it's indeed amazing.
Yes, definitely. So I'll skip the middle question since we already know that you're doing a lot of content related to racing and stuff. But as the usual on my podcast, I will ask this question. It depends if you have any favorite related to anime or mangas. Name
Well, I
one.
mean, it is very obvious it's Uma Musume. So, I
There you
mean,
go,
there
guys.
isn't.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not complicated. I mean, I'm not like I know Uma Musume just released in global and it has like received a lot of popularity
Yeah.
recently. But like I was there for Uma Musume like in 2021 when I just started this channel. So like yeah, um, like Uma Musume, why like it? It's because it's really realistically, it just makes racer very relatable to it. Like it's just all about racing, and it's not about cars. It's about more about that sportsman spirit in there, like
Ah.
how you never give up on racing, and the spirits of keep on fighting and all that. It's like I find it really relatable because I've been racing for so long. The events those Musume experience, like injuries, like losing races and then never giving up and then just keep on training until they win, like that spirit, that type of stuff that happened to them, that happened to me as well. I cried watching every Uma Musume like season almost, like because it's just I find those things relatable. It just happened to me before. Like it has happened to me before. So I just get motivated by it like a lot, very much a lot. So every time I lose, I watch an episode of Umosume. I tell myself, you know what? They can climb out of it. You can climb out of it. So that's how I keep myself going.
That's a pretty nice way to motivate yourself. That's how could I say, like, okay, let's put it in a way that most people watch anime because of the plot, the fan service, and you are watching it differently as a motivation tools in order to like help you to improve. So it's a different kind of purposes, but actually it's very beneficial because you are in that relatable circles, I guess. Is it the right word? I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Other than that, okay. Other than that, any other mangas or anime?
Uh, Not a lot. I mean, I mean, from younger times, I actually surprisingly a lot of people watch Initial D, but I grew up watching Wong at Midnight. Um,
Oh, that's
yeah.
unique.
I never watched the Initial D before, but I watched Wong at Midnight like 3 times.
Okay, I
So
agree with you. I started out with Wangang. I mean,
yeah.
I know initial D. Okay, the weird thing about me is that when I first got into like racing stuff, I didn't watch the anime version of Initial D. The surprising part was I was watching the live action by Jay Chow.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was the one that got me hooked up. I was like, wow, Jay Chow. And then this who are this Huang Chiu-sen ah? Is it Huang Chiu-sen the father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what? Because I watched Huang Chiu-sen movie a lot. And I was like, wow, this fella is being a badass. So like that got me hooked up to Initial D, but I never know it came from Japan. I thought Initial D came from China. And then I got backlash from a lot of people. Oh my god, I got that mistake so bad, you know. So yeah, I actually got caught by some people because I did say Initial D is from Japan instead of from China instead of Japan. Yeah, never try to offend the Japanese. That's what I learned. But yeah, but if I were to talk about anime, I start out with Wangang actually. I
Yeah.
felt that the Devil Z, that car is a pretty unique car. Like, okay, I don't want to say AE86 is overrated, but that Nissan Z has reminded me about American Muscle. The way that it sounds, the engine sounds a
Yes.
bit like American Muscles. I think it's the straight line six cylinder engine.
Yep. Inline
Yeah,
six. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
inline six, and I think they added some. Is it turbo or something? I
Twin turbo.
forgot.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, twin turbo.
Yes.
Yes, it gives that American Muscle feelings. That got me hooked up with manga, and it's a very good movie. Not movie. Series. Yes. So I started playing out with Wangang actually. I never started playing Initial D arcade. I started out with Wanga and then later on I bounced to Initial D's arcade. But I found that in recent years Initial D arcade machine is like dying down. And at the same time
Mm.
it's like midnight this Wanga midnight is actually growing much more stronger for some reason.
Yeah.
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 I mean most probably it's because it's a straight road racing game, I guess. Doesn't
Yeah.
require a lot of technical skill like the drifting because initially focus on cornering and drifting, I guess. That's
Yes.
just a personal thing I would say. Yeah. Alright. So let's go on to the juicy part that everyone has been asking. The racing part, yes. The racing part. I think you spoke about how you got interested in motorsport and racing, but can you tell us in detail about the process, like because like getting into motorsport is not like an easy thing, right? It's like it's either you have connection or it's like there is a go-kart racing and apparently you won, maybe you got scouted or something, I guess. I don't know how this this motorsport scene works. So I would like to know more in details. How does one
Uh,
actually get into it?
Well, I mean, I don't know how I got first interested in it because, like, according to my parents, there's a Chinese tradition where a baby is like a month old and they will put like a lots of object in front of the baby to let the baby pick an object, and that really tells what the baby is like into, like maybe what the baby will get into like in the future.
Oh.
Um, yeah, it's a really tradition here in China. So my parents put down loads of stuff. I never picked any of them. So my parents like just at the end put down a race car and immediately picked that up. So I guess it's like this is fate. I guess this is like in me. It was like in my gene. I guess when I was born. So it's not really how I got interested in it when I was a kid or whatever. It's like this literally when I was born. I'm just into cars or whatever. Anyways, like how I got into karting was a bit interesting because back then there was like a TV program about like my local TV program was like doing a series about like um kids kids with unique dreams and all that. They've been going to school like uh primary schools and then interviewing kids what their dream is. And my dream, I said I want to be a Formula One driver, and they were like, okay, that is unique, you're going on our TV show.
What?
So yes. So I went on a TV show. I was like when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Yes. Um. Yeah. I just successfully got into the TV show, and um. So they took me to like um F1 Grand Prix, Shanghai F1 Grand Prix. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
2012.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like 2012. Um. And they gave me the VIP pass so I can visit the the pit garage.
Good
The
stuff,
all the
guys.
teams
Good
pit.
stuff.
I can see the I met like real F1 drivers. Like they signed my shirt and all that. Like it was incredible. I don't remember a lot because it was like 5 or 6 years old, but all I remember was like them taking me into like the pit boxes, and they had like lots of like F1 drivers, and then they signed my shirt or whatever. I also met nearly who would have nearly um became um the first Chinese F1 driver. His name is Ma Qinghua. He now drives in WTCR, but
Oh.
he back then he was like a reserve driver for Caterham. If you watch F1 back then, you know who Caterham. Very slow team. And then like he was about to join the 2013 season, I think, and then Caterham just bankrupt and gone. Like the team just gone, and he couldn't drive for the 2013 season. So he
Oh,
was like
shoot.
that close to becoming like the first Chinese F1 driver, but it never really made it there. So it was unfortunate. But yeah, I did also meet him, and I also like the TV show like managed to have me like chat with him for like 10 minutes about racing and stuff. Like just me being 5 year old talking to someone who's like potentially an F1 driver is like insane. I don't know what I said back then, but like I couldn't remember anything really. I just couldn't remember a lot of and like
It's those kind of
and
moments like when you met your idol, you got a lot of things you want to say, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know what to say. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you just suddenly like the
Blank
previous day
out.
you're still in your school, and then the next day they take you to Shanghai, and then you met like F1 drivers. It's like, oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. If I had the opportunity now, I would say a lot more. I would like make content. I would make videos. I'll record this, photo this, photo that, record all this, and then be like, "Oh my god, guys, I met F1 driver." Yeah, but no, I never got this opportunity again. But yeah, it was really precious opportunity back then. I never realized until like now. But like, yeah, and then like after the show, they were like, they also said to achieve your dream, we will help you start in karting. So they contacted my local track, and then were like, take this kid in, uh, and like, and then just let me start karting, and that's how I got into karting. Um, so I yeah, that's that yeah, and then it's like I was like 5 or 6 years old back then. I wasn't even old enough, but but the karting track was like, when you're old enough, come back, and then we can start you off with the training program. So I was like, yeah, sure, and I was 8 years old, and then I finally started it. And a funny story is that when I started karting, there was a dude. there was a dude who's like almost the same age as me. He's also 8 years old back then. He's really
Mm.
fast. I raced him back then. Um, and back then I was like, sometimes I'm even faster than him. Sometimes. So basically, yeah, I started off in the same training program as him. You know where he is now? Like, do you want to know where he is now?
I
Like,
remember you posted something about that on Twitter,
yes, he
right?
is driving F3 this season. He is driving
Yeah,
FIA
I saw
F3 this
that post.
season.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw that post. Yes.
It's incredible. Yes. That one training program had like 5 drivers, and then now 2 drivers are moving into professional racing. This is almost, it's just incredible if you think about it. Like but yeah, I was like racing with him a lot back then, and like he was really fast, so I learned from him, and I gradually got faster as well. But he moved on to like much more professional, much more earlier, because his family's much more richer, so he received like much more better, you know, cars and coaches, and then he just like had all those like programs built for him, and then he just moved on to like very professional racing very early on, while I had to wait like 4 years for that to happen. So
I see.
yeah. Um, but it's okay. I mean, I'm getting places as well, so I'd say I can at least say that while when we just started in karting, I beat him once, so I can say about that.
I mean, you
Um,
can take that one win and say, yeah,
yeah,
at least it happens.
yeah.
The- from the way I hear, it's like, wow, your career is like really a jump start from childhood. Wow, that's, I would say a lot of people might wish they are in your position, I guess. I think maybe 60-70%. I'm not sure. Because, like, what are the chances to get into a TV station and you tell them that, yeah, I want to be a F1 driver. And the next thing you know, you are at the racetrack. And you are just like 6 years old. What?
Yeah, yeah, it was just still crazy to think about back then. Yeah,
Like, I can share a bit of stuff regarding about the Malaysian side. It's like you really need to get into karting contest. From what I heard, like, I have a few friends who does karting. They told me that it's very hard to get into the Malaysian racing scene. That although there are training programs, they are very much stricter than I expected to be. That which is why I'm kind of curious at the beginning, whereby is how do you even balance like racing and also VTubing is one of the topic that we are gonna touch later because these mutuals of mine who are also in the racing program, they barely have any time because they told me they have like 6 to 8 hours of racing sim racings training and then they had to go on track. A lot of the theory, hands-on mechanic stuff. I don't know. So it's kind of very different. I could say that different country has different ways of picking drivers for racing program, I guess. But I guess my country is pretty much more stricter, I would say. Yeah. Uh, so okay, since you mentioned about your first IRL racing's experience, what kind of car have you driven, and which one would you feel like you'll be going towards? Like there's different type of cars, right? If I would assume, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, growing up, it's like I was like dedicated to the Formula route, so I just only did karting and then move on to Formula 4.
Mm.
So like up to now, that's the only cars I've driven. But after getting here into the UK, obviously I want to move on to GT, which is a completely different type of car, and and for that I need to do like a lots of like license upgrading race, which is like involving me needing to drive like entry level touring cars. So I've also getting into that right now because, for example, I did the MX-5, and then a lot of my fans know that in April I'm having a Focus Cup race as well, racing the Ford Focus, um, and Yeah, I mean, I haven't driven a lot of car compared to like I guess a lot of other racers because growing up, it's really just me driving karting for the first 10 year and then moving on to F4, and then now here in the UK, it's just suddenly getting to all sorts of cars. So, um, I mean, for me, I really just love how F4 drives because obviously I grew up driving karting, so
Yeah.
it's similar to karting. Well, also at the same time different because obviously it's a little bit more bigger, has more power. It's has aerodynamic now. It involves a lot of things, gear shifting as well,
Yeah.
and just goes a lot more faster. Uh, and I tried F4 and night racing. It's like I just enjoy it because it's just something I feel like um the way it need me to drive it, I prefer how it needs me to drive it. So in an aggressive, like sort of in an aggressive way, but not too aggressive to lose control of the car. But just you need to be aggressive to be fast.
Ah.
You need to be brave to be fast. You need to like let the car turn in speed that you feel like you will crash, but it won't. And you had just had to walk on like that thin line between losing control and going too slow. I love that feeling. So yeah, I'd say probably F4 for now, but we'll see. I mean, I'll get into like different kinds of race cars this year as well. Teams also offer me testing on TCR as well, which is basically a front wheel drive touring car. And then there's also the GT4 I'll probably do later on this year. So and then I'll just try all things out, see what I like. And obviously Formula, why I stopped doing it because it's too expensive here in the UK. 3 times the price in China compared to China, and it's just way too expensive to do. So moving on to GT is like a more suitable option because obviously I think sports car are getting more popularity right now. You see Max
Yeah.
Verstappen going to drive GT3 as well. So I think that's the thing. That's a trend right now that I'm going to catch on to because I see a lot of Formula drivers who aim for Formula One, but they end up if they don't get into Formula One, they just end up driving like GT3.
Yeah.
And a lot of GT3 drivers actually didn't came from this way. They came more from like starting from GT4 and then moving up to GT3, something like that. And I think that's a more reasonable path other than compared to me having to go up to Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2 all the way just to go back to GT3. I don't think that's worth it. I think if a more reasonable logical pathway would be to for me to convert to like GT racing discipline and do that, and then as a career hopefully find sponsors and be able to do that as a career.
I see. I see. Like, okay, speaking about Formula series, right? And you actually race in the Formula 4.
Yes.
I want to debunk some stuff. How hot is it? It's in the driver's seat. How hot is it? Like, a lot of people has been saying that it's very hot. Like, it's a sauna. Is it real that it's as hot as like 50 degrees above or something like that?
Yes, first of all, you're wearing very thick layer of racing suit. Second of all, it depends on the weather really, because I know in Southeast Asia, well, I mean in some parts of China as well, especially city where I'm born, and you
Yeah.
know in the summer sometimes the temperature can reach like 40 degrees, so you had to race in that. There's a engine right behind your back, that's like going like 200 degrees, engine, and then obviously you're wearing very thick racing suit. You're wearing helmet. All of your bodies are covered, and like their sun is like shining down directly at you. And sometimes yes, it can get very very hot very quickly. Um, like in my F4 race, I nearly passed out. Like obviously, I don't think I did a sufficient enough amount of training. Like I mean, physical training before the race. I thought I did. Apparently, it wasn't enough. So that race it was like 30 minutes long. Usually because like the previous 3 races, what happened was that there were safety cars and where I could rest because there's safety car.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth race, nothing happened. There was no safety car at all. And I just kept on driving, had to drive at the limit for 30 minutes straight. And then the last 5 minutes, I just feel like, I feel like darkness in front of my eyes, just feel like, a little bit passed out. because of the heat, because of the dehydration, because of the G-force, everything combined. It's just the exhaustion kick in. But because of the adrenaline, it keeps pumping. You just don't feel it. You just know that you are going to you're feeling that you're passed out, but for some reason your body keeps telling you, "Oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine," but also at the same time telling you you're not fine, you're not fine, you're not fine. It's like
Mm.
a combination of both. It's like the adrenaline pushing you to go forward while your body also tells you, "Oh, you're not fine, you need to stop," something like that. Like, and then I just finished the race, and like nothing really happened. It's just like when I jump out of the car, I just feel like, "Oh God, oh my God, what have I been through?" It's like running a marathon or something like that. It's like, oh my God, what have I been through? Like hell or something. And something like that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. When you say blackout, this kind of situation, right? Would it consider to be very dangerous in a way that is, like it will get into a very huge accident in this kind of situation? Because I'm not so sure. I'm watching racing as an audience, and like hearing like this, is it like a very dangerous sports to begin with, like racing, or
I
is it?
mean, racing is getting more and more safer these years. I mean, uh, the fatality rate is really just decreasing. Obviously, every sport has risk. Playing basketball can hurt your. I don't know. It's playing basketball if you like somehow just falls and then you break your ankle or whatever stuff
Yeah.
like that also happens. Like every sports has risk. It's
Mm.
not just saying because race car they go fast, they're more risky. It's really not just the case. I guess the misconception from a lot of people thinking, it goes fast, you crash into a wall, and then somehow you
Yeah.
get really severely injured. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because first of all, most tracks have runoff areas. Even if you
Mm.
lose control, the runoff areas are so big, your car is most likely gonna just hit the runoff area, and then it's just gonna slow down so much. Even if you hit the wall, it's gonna be at a really slow speed. And even if you do hit the wall absorbs like most of the force you hit, most of the impact force. So basically, when you hit the wall, you just hit a loud bang, but really nothing happened to you. I remember there was like one karting race where I hit the wall at 100 kilometers per hour. Literally the entire tire wall collapsed on my head. I walked away. Nothing really happened.
Whoa, whoa,
Not even
whoa,
a
whoa, whoa,
scratch on
whoa,
my
whoa,
car.
whoa, whoa. Hold up. You crash onto a wall. 100
Yeah.
kilometers above. That's
No,
the
no.
second part.
Yeah, 100 kilometers per hour. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And you walk out like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Yeah. I
Oh
just,
my god.
yeah. It's really nothing. Like my car didn't even have a scratch. It doesn't even have a dent for some reason. Like
Huh?
it's as if like I went back to the mechanics and the mechanic said, "Oh, what happened to you?" I said, "I crashed." You look at the car. Are you sure you crashed? I said I'm pretty sure I crashed with really high speed. He says the car is fine. There's nothing like there's not even a scratch on the car. Like for some reason, I don't know how it happened, but yeah, it
Uh,
it just yeah.
yeah, because like in Malaysia there is we call this the mat rempet culture, which what we call this rebellious kids love to drive fast, and we have a lot of cases of they love to go over 100 car crash, love to modify cars, and we've seen a lot of those kind of accidents. So when it comes to like racing, you are dealing with more speeds and more aerodynamics with less from the outsider perspective. As long as your body is not being covered by a window or a door or something like that, it's unsafety for a outsider to view racing sports like this, especially the Formula series. So that is kind of surprise to me. Like, is it because of the car materials, or is it because like commercial cars and race car are both heaven and earth kind of things? You know, because we
Yeah,
would assume.
Formula cars are really, really tough because they are made of carbon fiber,
Mm.
and also because of it depends on where you crash. If you crash into a steel wall, of course, a lot of it is gonna happen. But if you crash into a tire wall, it's different. Tire walls are soft. It's like crashing into a mattress or something. It's like nothing
Ah,
really is gonna happen to you.
I
So
see. So which means that even the walls at the racetracks is made out of a unique material that is purpose is to actually absorb the impact compared to like normal brick walls that we have like buildings or
Yes.
roadside barricades, this
Yes.
kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
I see, I see. That's pretty amazing to understand right now, actually. So yeah, I'm pretty glad that we have learned a bit of something new regarding about the racing scenes, and that racing is actually much more safer than we thought it would be, than being dangerous. Yeah, right. So you also mentioned that you play racing sims, right? So what the difference when you play real racing and racing sim? Is it like a similar thing, or is it like you have to be aware of certain things, just like eSIM racing, those kind of stuff? Yeah.
I mean, for me, the biggest difference is obviously, well, the most obvious difference everyone says is the G force, the lacking of G force in sim racing. Obviously, I think that's a bit detrimental to me. I mean, for me, who grew up racing real cars, I'm more used to feeling the G force with my. People say it. People really say the drivers really feel the G force with their ass. Yes, we do feel the G force with our ass. So yeah, the lacking of G force on my butt, in sim racing, it kind of doesn't help me because you only have the wheel left for, and obviously your monitor for the visual, and on your hand the force feedback,
Yeah.
and that's about it. That's about everything you can sense. But in the real car, you can sense a lot more. You know, the G force. There's the wind, and there's also um,
The heat.
the steering input. The steering force feedback actually feels. I mean, it's real life, so it's, of
Yeah.
course it feels a little bit more,
Resistance.
more, yeah, more dense. There's a lot more feedback, and then obviously visually you can turn your head, and it's just a lot of things that you can't do in sim racing. Um, so I mean, I guess I would say the biggest challenge between the real racing and sim racing is like just trying to get used to it. Like every time I drive a lot, even before like real life racing, I drive a lot on a sim. I drive the real thing. I go drive the real thing. It still feels different. Obviously, the car, the way the pedal is positioned, it's not identical to my sim. How heavy the brake pedal is, it's also different. And obviously, the sim doesn't simulate everything because, for example, once I was like doing F4 testing at Donington, it was wet condition. I knew it was gonna be wet condition, so I practiced on the sim before that, but even on the sim, it was much grippier than the actual track condition I had that on the day. Um, and I asked my team why that was the case because my team said the sim doesn't simulate a thing, which is because it's a very unique thing at that track. That's because it's next to an airport, and a lot of airplanes when they land, they spill oils on the track, and for this reason, when it rains, this track is much less grippier, so it's much more slidier than other normal tracks. And that's one thing that the sim never simulates. None of the sim simulates that. So that's the reason why when it rains, it's wet. It's like much more slidier than comparing to the sim. And that's just the things, challenges you have to overcome when it comes to like real racing as well. Yeah.
So which means that like in the actual racetracks, you have to be aware of the actual condition of your surroundings, whereby eSIM is just replicating the tracks.
Yes, eSIM is just replicating the track and the grip that they are guessing it is doing by
Yes.
the lap time, but sometimes it's not that accurate.
Understandable, understandable. So when we spoke about GeForce, I'm kind of curious how how do I even approach this topic about GeForce? Uh, can you give a example, like when you drive like F4, what kind of GeForce are you feeling? Like is there something that can be comparable to this? Because I'm just trying to figure out words that can be put into this scenario.
Mm,
Yeah.
well, I mean, for me, G-force, I think the best way to simulate G-force, if you want to, is that you find someone who's like really. who has a lot of strengths, and just let them hug you, like very very tightly, very tightly. Uh, that's G-force. That's how G-force felt to me, because I'm strapped by the seatbelt very tightly in a car, and when the G-force wants to move me, I can't. I just get get locked in by the seatbelt, and it just feels like as if to
A
me to
tub, a big
the
tub.
G-force. So yes, like someone is like trying to push you, but you are trying to go against that. You know how like you're like how do I explain? It's just really like someone hugging you really tightly, sort of.
I can give
Yes.
a scenario. It's like you get not to put like a very bad thing. It's like you get kidnapped. You try to run away, but your kidnapper is trying to pull you back. That kind of
Uh,
situation, right?
yes,
Yeah.
sort of. Yes.
Okay, I can understand that. Okay, okay. Wow. That's. So how do you actually train G for this kind of thing? Like, ho- is it something that can be trained to withstand over a period of
Yes,
time?
of course, but it only can be trained. I mean, most of the times you train the muscle needed. For drivers, it's the neck. Obviously, we gotta support the head, not moving around. For the neck training, you have loads of ways. You see most F1 drivers, they have someone pulling their head, and they have to uh, go against it. See if like they don't they can't move their head when someone's trying to pull their head really hard,
Mhm.
or like you can also try this method yourself, which is have your head on like a bench, and then the rest of your body just like nowhere to be resting, and just only using your head, your neck muscle to support your entire body. um that's the way I train.
Ouch.
um yeah, it's gonna hurt a lot, but that's the way I train. Or most of the time for drivers, the G-force to withstand, it's just like um you just drive a lot, and then because you drive every day, the G-force is there every day. Just like
And you get
for
used to it.
runners, yeah, you get used to it. Just for like marathon runners, they go for a run every day. They get used to running, their tiredness of running. So it's the same thing. If you drive every day, you experience that G-force every day. You get used to it. Yes.
I see, I see. Right. So let's go to the next question is, okay, what is your best race so far? Like you did a lot of race. Is it
I
like
mean, it's very obvious.
it's
It's the
like
one Chinese F4 race I did. I mean, I only did one race. That race is like, my family couldn't really say afford me like a whole season. They could only afford me one round. So they told me like, this one round, you just gotta enjoy it, and don't wreck the car. So I couldn't really even push the car really, and like, um, honestly, I don't feel confident in that race because, first of all, I can't push the car to the limit. Second of all, I've talked with some of the richer drivers, some of the richer kids. They they've been practicing there for a whole month, every day. Um, Obviously, I couldn't do that because it's expensive. It's time
Mhm.
consuming. I still have school to go to. I couldn't just stay at the track for a whole month practicing every day. So the best I could do is just practice on the sim when I can, but still very much different, very very much different compared to in real life. Um, and then like, just got there. Didn't do a lot of practice. Was like only 2 days of practice, and then straight into qualifying. Did not do really well. The time wasn't really well. Um, but still, they told me just race well, and then that's what I did. And surprisingly, I got podium. So yeah,
That
that's
was very lucky of you to get podium at least.
yes, yes.
Is very lucky. And when we talk about this F4 race car, I want to understand more like how do one actually how do you guys even get the car? Because you mentioned that you can't push the car to the limit. Is because did your parents pay a racing team or what? I just don't understand the whole thing of how did you actually get the F4 but you can't push to the
Yes.
limit. Yeah.
So for most racers, they don't have their own car. It's just finding a racing team. So it's racing team's car. If you
Okay.
crash, you got to pay for it.
Oh dang.
So yeah, so you don't want to crash, because why my parents warned me that is like because during the practice, there was another person
Mhm.
who paid like same amount as I did to race in this round as well, and he had a really bad crash, he had like a really bad crash, like half of his car is like damaged, totaled, and the team demanded him to pay like the amount he paid for the race. So he had to pay his like race fee into it, and he couldn't race. So my parents just said the same thing. My parents said to me, if you crash, we can't afford to crash. We also gonna have to do the same thing. We're gonna have to pull you out of the race. So that's
I
why
see.
I couldn't push the car at all. I just had to prevent incidents from happening throughout the race, throughout practice, throughout qualifying. I'm just being cautious, a little bit too cautious, but it's good. At least I didn't end up having any damage. I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy that there was no crash happening. Yeah.
That's interesting to know that like especially like uh to understand that not all the racers actually have their own car because like I watch F1, so I know that uh McLaren them they have their own cars and everything, and of course uh Malaysian we have Mercedes and Petronas had our own cars and stuff, but I'm more curious about these lower level kinds of racing because in Malaysia we don't do F1 anymore despite that we have this Sepang International Circuit, but recent years our country has been doing more on the motor side, which is what we call the MotoGP Grand Prix. And also recently we also had a lot of these GT racing. I guess we have a few season of GT racing that is happening at our local circuit as well, but then we rarely even see F4. Actually the Formula Series has been out of Malaysia since 2017 or 18, I forgot, as it's deemed very expensive, like what you mentioned just now. It's expensive to actually drive Formula cars, if I'm not wrong on it, right? I
Yeah.
would assume. So yeah. So moving forward, you mentioned about the racing license just now.
Yeah.
How different is this racing test license? Do I call it racing test license or driving license? Is it like
Racing
limited
license.
to
Yeah,
yeah?
it's a racing license is different from driving license. It's a
Okay.
completely different thing.
So when you mentioned that you had to retake the test on Twitter, is that for that specific country or is it like is this license limited to European countries, Southeast Asia
Limited to
country?
United Kingdom only.
I
Yeah.
see. So for example, if you were to race for, I'll give a random country, France or Belgium or something, you have to go and take their specific license. So it's another fee. You can't carry forward the license to their region
You
like
can,
driving.
but you have to get the international license, which is basically requiring you to. So the license you obtain first is a national license. Every country, after you
Yeah.
pass the test, it's gonna be a national license, and then what they want you to do is do races, perform well, and then if you do, they will give you an international license, and then with that international license, you can race anywhere you want.
I see. So it is a very strict requirement, especially they need you to go to. Is there any minimum requirement or how many races you have to go through for this in order to get international license?
Yes, in the UK, you have, first of all, after you pass the test, you get the race club license, which is equivalent to the national B level. Now, with national B level, if you want to upgrade to national A level, you will need 6 races.
Yeah.
That's 6 races. It doesn't matter where you finish. And then if you want to go from national A into international C, you'll have to do another 6 races or 3 national level races.
Yeah. Wow, that is a huge requirement. I guess for someone who is studying overseas, is it a very difficult thing to be done or
That is what I'm working towards too, because I really want to run a GT4 this season. So, obviously, I'm trying all the opportunities I have right now, which is basically it's just required this amount of races. So I'm trying to
mm,
race as much as I can by doing all these cheap entry level races like the MX5 or the Focus Cup. These
mm,
are very cheap. very easy to enter. There's no requirement to enter as long as you have your license, you can enter. And then it's not like one weekend count as two races because a race doesn't say it's just one round if it has like two races. For example, like just like F1, for example, like sprint race and then the main race, it counts as both counts as races. So that's two races on your record. So
I
in
see.
theory, right, I just need like 6 weekends like these, and that's the fastest. And then I can get an international license, and then I can race in the British GT, and then I can race in GT4. Yes.
I see. So when we talk about what are the differences actually? So I'll give a bit
Hello.
of sharing on my side. Hello? Hello?
You disconnected, I think. Oh,
Wait, yeah, I did disconnected. Let me. Is it back?
yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay,
You're back.
okay,
You're
okay.
back. Okay.
So yeah, I was speaking about the difference between GT3 and GT4. So last year, apparently I attended my first proper racing event. It was the Super GT, which usually is done in Japan, but last year they brought back the Super GT to Malaysia for the first time, the only Super GT outside of Japan. So they had two categories. One is the GT 300, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, GT 300 and the GT 500. Is it similar to your GT3 and GT4 series, or is like a whole different thing?
It's a completely whole different thing. GT300 and GT500 are completely different homologated series. That's like, it's like GT500 is way faster than GT3. Now GT300 is supposedly faster than GT3, but they had added something called the BOP, balance of performance,
Hmm.
to balance this so that normal GT3s can race against GT300. So GT200 and GT500 in a nutshell essentially is just, you know, um, race cars developed according to like their own Super GT rules instead of any like GT3, GT4 rules, and they are way faster.
I
Yes.
see. So that is like a unique category than the usual GT3 and GT4 series, right?
Yes.
I see. So regarding about the, because I read about GT 300 and 500, they have like different specification for the engine. I think they had to do engine swap or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it similar to GT3 and GT4 whereby they had to use specific engine, like inline engine or something? I forgot why was it, because it was quite a while ago.
No, GT3 and GT4 is more open towards because well GT3 and GT4 is trying to promote like less development, and it's more of like just use whatever you have on your road car. For example, we have all sorts of engine in GT3. We have like back in like 10 years ago there's Aston Martin
Yeah,
Vantage with the V12. They
yeah.
were running V12, and then you have Audi R8, you have Lamborghini Huracan that's running the V10. Or now, I mean, Huracan got replaced with the new Mario GT3 that's running, I think it was a V8. And then you have AMG and Mustang, Corvette, those running V8. And then you have like cars like BMW running a V6. And then you have like, Porsche running a flat six. It's
Yeah.
all different engine. They don't really limit it. It's because like, for example, if your engine produces too much power, they will control it. They will add the BOP to your car. They will make your car heavier, or just say reduce your power or something like that. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what engine you run. Just use whatever engine is on the original road car, and that's about it. Yeah.
So it's more like skill based, right? If I were to say GT3 and GT4 is more like a skill base.
Yes, I guess it's more, at least way more skill based than F1, at least because well, F1, if you go into a bottom team, there's no way you can win. There's definitely no way you can win. But
Yeah.
in GT3, um, although the BOP may be unfair sometimes, but the time difference is almost every time is limited to under 1 second. So even if you're in the most unfair condition, you're still only like 0.9 seconds slower than the fastest, and that's fine. And that's fine because in F1, if you are in the slowest car, you are maybe like 2 seconds slower than pole position, and there's absolutely no way you can win. But in GT3, at least you can fight for something, And most of the time, and that's just like the most extreme scenario where you get like 1 second of difference. And if the race made it really good, they made it very fair. The BOP really fair. Most cars would only have like 0.2, 0.3 of difference. That is basically nothing in racing. 0.2, 0.3 difference with drafting and all that during the race. And cars, they also run differently because mostly GT3 and GT4 they run in endurance. And in endurance, maybe the car on the long run has a different performance, and that's also different. So it doesn't really and how the team manages the strategy, the fuel saving, the tire saving, everything. It's more about, yes, skill based. It's about the driver in the car, what he decides to do, fuel saving. If he can fuel save well, he can save the team. A pit stop, even that's like 40 seconds saved. So, yeah, very, very much worth it. So, yeah.
So when it comes to this kind of race, it's more like let's put it in a way is that like for normal people like us is that you have the best engine spec, you need to start out strong. But on a normal racing condition, right, from what I hear is that starting strong doesn't mean that you will win. It's more like using your car with the right time, with the right skill, at the right condition. Am I right?
Yes, exactly. That is the spirit of GT3 racing. It's not about, oh, I'm going to drive fast every lap. That is going to make you lose. The GT3 is more about consistently driving decently fast, and at the same time conserving the car.
Yeah, because it's kind of similar to what back then the Le Mans is as well. Because Le
It
Mans
is
is
Le Mans,
like
yeah.
it's basically like testing the car. Like you might have the best engine in the world. Like, let's just say V12, V10, but then again your car cannot run long due to the overheating, I guess. No normal circumstances engine overheating, especially with high power engine, V10 and V12. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but that's the thing I would say. Uh, so yeah, it's more like consistent pacing and to make sure that at least your engine doesn't burn out. So how long this race usually lasts for GT3 and GT4?
I mean, it depends. You mentioned Le Mans. Le Mans, also GT3 is running in Le Mans right now as well. So, it could last 24 hour.
Oh
Some
shit.
races are sprint races. Sprint races are only like 1 hour long, 1 hour 30 minutes long. And then you have like sort of the endurance races or like a little bit longer sprint races like 2 or 3 hours, and then you start going to endurance level where it's like 4, 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, all sorts of these time. It really just depends on the race series you're looking at. For example, you have GD World Challenge. GD World Challenge is usually just it's more of a consider as a regard as a sort of endurance series most of the time. It has sprint races as well. It consists of both. The series most of the time does 3 hour races, requires driver swap and all that, and then the endurance series lasts usually 6 hour, and then there would also be like Intercontinental GT where it's almost every time it's like 12 hour. And then you had WEC, which almost all races are like 6 to 24 hours long. Um, and you have those special events, for example Nürburgring 24, and yeah, stuff like that.
Wow, that is a lot of series I'm hearing for the first time. As a racing fan, I'm hearing a lot of different names for the first time, so it's kind of mind blown. Trying to absorb it. Oh my god, there is a lot of races out there. Also, there is another thing. I'm kind of curious. Does usually on a normal circumstances V12 engine is the one that will get the best shots, or sometimes actually V8 engine perform much more efficient than V12? I'm not sure. This one may
um
be related to
it has a lot
technical.
of factor. It has a lot of factors deciding that. There's a reason why V12 engines are like not racing anymore. and not even in GT3. I mean, the only V12 you see racing right now is from the Aston
Yes,
Martin
the
Valkyrie
Vantage.
hypercar. No, Vantage is like
Mm,
using V8 now.
Oh,
They retired the V12. Yes.
oh shit.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. The only V12 they're running is on the Valkyrie hypercar. Um, and that isn't doing well because first of all, V12 isn't really efficient. It produces a lot of power, yes, but with motor racing it has like BOP. They were if you produce a lot of power, they will also add weight to your car. So V12 isn't that efficient. It consumes too much fuel and then just doesn't push your car as far as it is supposed to. Um, because obviously what they are going to add more weight to your car because you produce more power. So
Yeah, additional
it
piston and stuff and additional weight
it's not
blocks.
helping. It's not helping.
Yeah,
So
understandable.
yeah. So and same goes for V8. For example, the AMG V8, the AMG GT3 has like a 6.0. I think it was 6.0 V8. Um, it is the most fuel consuming GT3 in the series most of the time, and it's like it's just in a disadvantaged position because on the long run it consumes more fuel, meaning that you need more pit stops to add fuel, which is
Yeah.
not good. Um, so really, it just depends on the car. But you also have like features of the car, like for example, the Porsche or the Audi. The Audi, yeah, really. The Audi R8 is a more of a slightly a car, so it has more tire degradation,
Mm.
and like that just causes the car needing to pit stop more for tire changes, or you're losing a lot of the pace for tire degradation, stuff like that. So it's really just balanced throughout the race. Some cars are consuming more fuel, some cars are consuming more tires, um, and the BOP is there just to balance, make sure that every car is balanced. That although different cars have different features, in the end they are all balanced.
I see, I see. That's interesting to know. Cause like I seen like last year the Super GT series. I seen Lamborghinis. I see a lot of AMGs actually. A lot of the racing love to use AMGs. And then there is the Honda Civic as well. A lot of them. Honda Civic Type R and also Porsche as well. Porsche is also a part-time favorite for that specific events. So sometimes I do wonder if these kind of engine specification actually really affects the overall experience, and also does it mean that higher more pistons means more power? Yes, the word yeah,
Technically it does, but because in the race they'll add BOP to it, so there's no point.
yeah,
But yes, for example, you mentioned they favored like AMG and Porsche as GT3. That's for a
yeah.
reason because those are cheaper compared to some of the GT3s. For example, the most expensive GT3 in the world is like right now is like Mustang and Corvette. Those aren't made in
Oh,
big numbers.
oh, I
Those aren't
rarely
made
see
in big.
them.
Yes, because those are expensive and the parts are really hard to find. But Porsche and AMG are like worldwide well-known GT3, and
Yeah,
like you can find parts everywhere. They're cheaper to buy, easier to buy as well, and they are easier to maintain. There's like many mechanics and engineers have experience with this car because obviously Porsche and Mercedes have been running this platform for a really long time now. So a lot of the engineers and mechanics they know the car, they know how to fix it. You are easy, so you can maintain the car easier. Um, so in the end, like for Team Zero Life, it's not about which car performs better that they choose. It's more about which car is easier to maintain, cheaper to maintain, that they will choose. For example, in China, you will see a lot of R8 and uh, Lamborghini GT3. It's
oh,
because in China the R8 GT3 is the cheapest GT3 on the market. Same goes for the AMG as well. There's a lot. If you watch China GT, there's almost every car on the grid is either Porsche, the R8 or the AMG. It's because those are the GT3s that are the cheapest and easier to find parts. Um, and yeah, they don't really necessarily say perform one better than the other because there's the existence of BOP, so it doesn't matter really which car perform better than the other. It's just up to like lowering the cost at this point. So for them, so yes. Um So that's why it's more popular.
And I'm more surprised to hear that Lamborghini is easier to get parts. That
Uh,
that that's the
it
that's the
is
thing.
it is the same platform, same chassis as the Audi R8. So if anything, they share some parts. They're the
Oh,
same
I
engine as
see.
well. So if anything, you can always borrow parts from the R8. Um, yeah. So some parts actually work in between each other. So, um, yeah.
I see. I see. Well, well, at least we know Lamborghinis is easier to get parts in racing scene, guys. Oh my god. Like in Malaysia, it's actually very hard to get Lamborghini parts, even like services. I think a lot of Malaysians, especially for commercial cars, they tend to sell their Lamborghinis after 1 year, which is very hard to get parts. Maybe it's because of the imports fee as well, but for us to get parts is not that easy, which is why like Malaysia's you will see a lot of Mercedes, BMs. Yeah, BMs is very often. But Lamborghini is very hard to get parts, except for the Lamborghini Urus. Yeah, which is more like
Uh,
a
because the Urus is sharing the same platform as Porsche Cayenne and Audi Q7, I think. Those are like
yes,
and the Volkswagen Touareg. I think like those SUV. It's like because it's
yes, the SUV
Lamborghini's under,
series.
yeah, it's under Volkswagen, so it's like most parts are. It's just most people say that the Urus is like a Touareg, and like most people say like the Urus is the um Touareg with the Lamborghini badge. That's it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I would actually agree on that. Okay, understandable, understandable. Okay, so let's moving on. So this one is related to your racing and how you actually balance VTubing together. So since you do a lot of racings and of course you are also studying and you are also getting license, how are you balancing all these together? Like, you know, especially racing is something that you need to train often, physically, mentally, and you might be on the track most of the time. I'm not sure about this. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you are at the track most of the times or something like that, or normal racer will be on the track most of the time. So how do you actually balance this?
Well, I'm not, at the track all the time because getting to like more professional racing, you don't just stay at the track every day. It's not like karting where the track is open every day and you could just say, "Oh, I'm here for karting," and then you just drive right away. No, the more professional racing, you have to book the track, you have to tell the team, you have to, arrange a lot of things, so you can't have a lot of track time. It's more about on the sim. So how I balance is that first of all, there's a quote in China from a very famous writer, Chinese writer. Basically, it just means he's some people interviewed him back then. They asked him the same question, saying, "How do you write books at the same time while working?" And he said, "Oh, a lot of people they after they work they go drink coffee and they go shopping, but for me, I just use the spare time and then write my book. That's the word that inspired me to, arrange my time. It's like, people, after school, they just start gaming. They play games. They just start, playing games and just hang out with people in voice chat
Mm.
and just, messing about. But for me, it's more about, just, well, I need to get to work. So I just, working on whatever I need to do. For example, content creating, which is not hard because today, right before the stream, I posted a new video, and that was like me waking up at 9 a.m. and I just posted it right away at 11 a.m. So it only takes me about 2 hour ish to make a video. So it's not really long. It's short video, so obviously it's not time consuming. It's not very hard to make either. Um, it's so I just need to make videos like these and then post them frequently, and so keep my viewers and followers updated with it. And for racing part, it's it comes together with the content creation because you need footages of your racing or whatever you do training. So that for me it would be sim racing. I would just sim race at the same time. I would stream at the same time,
Mm.
so people can watch me do sim racing. That's part of me training. Um, at the same time, doing content creation at the same time, I get the VOD for the stream, and then later on it can be used for videos and all that. So it's really it might get overwhelming from time to time. You might feel like running out of
Yeah.
time, but it is all just about finding I mean, the balance. It's not hard. It's not really that hard to find. If you just look back at your day, and if you review, you can just find out you are probably wasting, like, you like, for most people, even for me, how busy I am, I can still find out like I am wasting like 1 to 2 hour a day probably on the phone, or just oversleeping and unnecessary, or like just wasting time on things that I shouldn't do. And then if you look back, and if you feel like I'm so busy, I have no time at all, and you can just look back at your day and think again if you are on the phone too much, or if you're doing stuff that you shouldn't do too much, then stop doing that, and then focus your time on the things that you should do more. So that's how I balance it. It's like, you can always find time here or there to try to squeeze some more time out to towards the goals that you need to achieve.
That's very interesting at the same time. But when it comes to this kind of situation, right? How do you deal with burnouts?
I don't. I mean, I know that because, of course, I get burnouts. Of course, everyone does. But you see, I like I said before, I get motivated by Uma Musume. Um, I have loads of these fans as well,
Yeah.
supporting me, and like burnouts, yes, they will be there, but um, the incentives are bigger to me. Like, for example, you know, me doing Instagram content is because, like, I know that if I do the Instagram content really well, I might get sponsors that can sponsor me racing. Then it will be like a better start for me.
Yes.
So the incentives behind me making content is like way bigger than the burnouts. Sometimes I do feel like, oh, this is so tiring. I don't want to do this, and then I would be in the shower and go like, no, I have to do this because if I don't do this, where will my future be? I don't want to disappoint my future self. I don't want to be in the future and then look back saying, "Oh, I could have worked harder, but I didn't." I want to, say, "At least I've tried." At least I've worked. That is the spirit I'm working towards. To like, I don't want to say in the future, looking back, being disappointed in myself, saying you did not work hard enough. I want to make myself satisfied, saying you did work hard enough, and then you achieved something.
Mm. I I could see that because your content is mainly on the racing, so I can understand that burnout. Yes, sometimes once in a while will happen, but you did it because you have a pretty clear goal in mind. So I can see that it's actually a very efficient way to in order to balance things up as well, and keep doing contents because you're just gonna tell yourself that it's gonna help with your future no matter what, and you might, like you said, get sponsorship. So I would say I really salute your effort. I wish I could say the same for myself. uh the reason why I even mentioned about burnout is I'm also on the burnout phase recently. Like, personally, I haven't been streaming a lot. I mean, I used to stream a lot of IRL contents, especially showcasing my country, Malaysia. So Malaysia is a multiracial country. There is a lot of races. But we have the three main races is Malay, Chinese, and Indian. And of course, everyone knows I'm Chinese. And technically, my Instagram account, everybody knows who I am. So I also face a burnout at some point whereby creativity actually affects, especially in doing contents whereby you try a lot, but that's you're not getting anything in return, and you felt that there's no one supporting you at some point. People come and goes. So I did brought up to see your perspective to understand how do you actually conquer this kind of situation. But from what I see is that you have a pretty solid, clear goal in mind, and you're working towards it, which is why I uh applaud and salute with your effort lah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So when it comes to content creation, right? Have you ever tried doing it after a race, like streaming immediately?
Um, no, because I'm a VTuber. I can't like. How do I stream at the racetrack without my computer? Like,
Actually, you
uh,
can. There is a way. There is a way to do it. I mean, I could share some tips with you in order to do that, but you need to have very stable internet. Yeah, that's the
yeah, I
only
don't.
thing.
I mean, some racetracks don't have really stable internet, so I don't want to try it.
It's
But I
usually more
mean,
on the telco provider, I would say. I do IRL streaming. Basically I stream with a action camera. But there is a mini computer you had to bring along in order to send your feed inside to your computer, another computer at home, and you can stream. But that's a very technical thing that if you are interested, I can share a bit off stream, I guess. Not now. I don't want to blabber on the secret sound, I guess. But you technically can in a way. Yeah.
yeah.
Um
Like, but yes, well, I remember once I did. What I did was I finished a karting race. I think I won that, and then like I immediately went home to do another sim race, which I streamed it. I almost won that sim race, so I guess yeah,
you don't feel
that's the
exhausted?
closest thing. Well, I mean, yes, it was too exhausted and made a mistake near the end, so it was really unfortunate. But yeah,
Yeah. So when it comes to like racing and also doing VTuber at the same time, what is the biggest challenge that you face, especially balancing both of these?
uh, I guess I would say it's like balancing both of these. It's like I that's a good question. Yeah, cause like okay, cause like racing in real life involves in real life your in real life face a lot of
Yes.
the time, and then you're VTubing, you're trying not to dox yourself, which is something I am trying my best to avoid. Like it is the biggest challenge right now. Like how do I make in real life racing content at the same time not reveal who I am. At least not on purpose. I know a lot of people could go like, oh, I can just search you up. I can just search the race you racing, and then I can know your name immediately. Yeah, that's not something I can prevent. But I'm trying to just say I'm not, willingly to give out my face, uh, per se. Like I'm not saying, oh, I'm this person. I look like this. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, if you want to look for my name, sure, I can't stop you from doing that. But that's just I'm just trying to prevent that from happening, but it's really hard because racing in real life you can't just say I'm gonna sign up with the name Midnight Hurricane. Actually, I
Yeah.
tried that during Chinese F4. I
Wait,
actually
what?
tried. Yes, because it's not me trying. It's not me trying. It's one of my. It's very interesting. It's because the social media team of Chinese F4 is the head of social media team of Chinese F4 is my
Okay.
fan. He's very big fan of mine, and he knows I'm racing this one, and he's like, you know what? Let me go see if I can ask like my boss to let you enter the race. On the broadcast, at least using your fake name or whatever, and not show your real face. I was like, okay, sure, you can go ahead and try it. And he later on told me, yeah, that didn't work. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, at least he tried.
I think it's pretty obvious. Like right now in VTubing, there is a lot of things with regards to VTuber. We all know VTuber started back during the COVID period, where that is like the all the VTubers started popping up. Whereby these days there are people who still try to split both identity. Some of them maybe voice actors, and also there are VTuber self, and there are some VTubers like me who is doing hybrid content. You know what? Surprisingly, I don't intend to show my face in public originally as a music producer. But the problem with music production is if nobody sees your face, especially when you're DJing, they don't know who you are, and it's pretty hard to get fans to listen to your music.
What about like Marshmallow? Like Marshmallow and Dead Mouse. They are covering their face all the time.
Yeah, I did try that. I did try that during my first performance. It was back in 2022. I had my first DJ performance at a anime convention. It was a very big stage because that stage had 3,000 uh 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 participants who are coming for for the event, and I was given a stage, and that was my first stage. I went up to stage wearing a mask, and I already felt exhausted because it was so hot. It's kind of similar whereby you're wearing a racing suit, but then when you are DJing, you're trying to hype the crowd. It gets so hot to the point where you try to drink water, you try to hide yourself. You can't even hide anymore, and you're jumping around like hyping people, because DJ we had to hype people. If we stand there and if we can't hype, it's gonna be very tiring. So I end up doxing myself, and people sort of know my face, and surprisingly, after I took off my mask, I started getting more jobs for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah. But the problem with music producer and DJ is you had to make music to survive. I had my consider like a peak area whereby I get all this performance. So reason burnout is you had to make your own music. It's like creating your own play. It's kind of similar to creating content, but in music it's that we had to create our own sound. You had to be different than other people. Like you don't want to listen to the same remixes all over again. You need to have that different sounds. Like Marshmallow is on dubstep music. We have hardstyle music, but hardstyle is overrated these days. So I'm kind of at that situation of creating my own sounds currently. But I would say back to VTuber part. I mean, I still stream as a VTuber. This is why like I'm still doing podcasts like this as a VTuber avatar. But sometimes I do show my face IRL and do streaming. But I do agree at one point is as much as you try to avoid like releasing like personal info, we consider this as a personal space or information. It's pretty hard to protect ourselves. Because I remember one of my colleagues actually recognized me and almost blabber out my name to my boss, as much as I was trying to hide myself, because if your boss found out that you're a influencer, that's not a good thing to do. And I was at that spot. So yeah, I do say that is the biggest challenge, especially being a VTuber or content creator, and you try to hide yourself from people from knowing who you are in actual person, I guess. Yeah. So very relatable. But okay, let's just say that one day, if someone comes up to you and asks for you for a photo, they know that this is who you are. How will you react to it? Like, how
I
will
mean,
you
it
react?
has happened a lot of times. My fans watching me race. So it kind of just happened. I just let it happen. It's whatever.
I,
Like
I,
I couldn't stop it. Like it's not my fault. I didn't want to give the faces away, but it happens. So um, I just let it happen then.
mm,
That's why, like, I try to look like more like my VTuber avatar in real life. I'm not even kidding. Because if you look at my VTuber avatar, I have the blue hair dye on my VTuber avatar.
yeah.
That's that's kind of what I have in real life right now. Like my hair also have like blue highlight dyes. So
Ah,
I'm trying to look more like my VTuber avatar so that people don't feel like, oh, disappointed. You do you look like this in real life. Nah, I'd say, you know what? I'm just gonna look like identical to my VTuber avatar in real life, so
I
that people
see, I
don't feel
see.
disappointed. I guess.
Well, at least you're putting efforts on it. I would say that is very dedicated as well. Like trying to show people at least that this is the same in a way. I'm trying to find the right word to phrase this. You're similar to your VTuber avatar, so at least that they don't get disappointed, because like a lot of people, they just split as a different identity. So you put in a lot of effort in making this work. So again,
Mm,
I applaud and salute that you are putting a lot of efforts in
thank you.
this. Okay, so let's move on to VTuber focus. I think you mentioned the first question already. How did your community react when they found out that you are a racer? But I want to go deep into details with your racing clubs.
Mm.
Uh, you said that it was a random idea. So tell us more in details. How
So
random it
yeah,
is.
it's really just random. Like it might have not been started if it wasn't for the Twitter algorithm. Really, it's like just scrolling. No, I didn't even search for anything. I was just scrolling, and then Twitter algorithm feeded me with the post of Kaneko Racing. Um, I just saw them entering in an iRacing event, and I saw like because at that time it was 2023 in China. There wasn't a lot of racing VTubers, and I've never seen like racing VTubers outside of China as well. I didn't thought it was a possibility. I never thought it was a possibility until I saw that post, where it just opened my mind because like holy shit, that just means there's more than just racing VTubers out there. They had already had like a like a team already. And I was like, okay, so if they can start a team, then I can start a team because back in China at that time, there was a trend of like some sort of China sim racing getting a lot of popularity, gaining a lot of popularity back then. And there was a lot of trend of like Chinese team going out and winning races in sim racing. So I was like, okay, what if we like what if we just say um build our own team full of Chinese. Apparently, that's not the case now because we have so many foreign members. Obviously, one of them is in the chat right now. Hello, Jordan. I'll see you. And hello, Bacon. I'll see you as well. Yes. And like at that time, that was my thought. That's for the patriotism, I guess. And like so. So I just simply made a post. I did not even promote it. I did not have any promotional materials. Uh, So it was just a simple text post with a screenshot of me seeing that Kaneko Racing post. So I just said, oh, I found out on Twitter that, people outside China already have like VTuber racing team. They're already far ahead. So why can't we have our own VTuber racing team or something like that? So I'm going to start one. Is anyone interested? Literally a post like that. There was nothing. There was no context at all. Like that was the only context. I did not say anything before that. I did not say anything after that. It was just like that. Um, and like, and then there's people in my comments saying, "Oh, I'm in. I want to join." So I let them in, and then I scrolled around Kaneko Racing's Twitter a bit more. There was there was like their post saying they're running in V track. And I mean back then it was called IVGDC, basically International VTuber GT Series, GT Championship, and I saw that I was like, whoa! Instead of a team, they already have like a whole like racing
Club.
league of VTubers already. Like that thing is already like just shocking to me. Who like for me, because for me, I was like back then I feel like I was the only one and only existing racing VTuber in the world, or something like that. But then no, I saw that post, I was like, oh my god! So I'm not alone out there. There's like a lot more like me. So that's why I decided our goal would be to run IVGDC, and that's what we did. We started our team. We just went ahead and did the race, and we posted about it. We posted about the result. We go around, we promoted it, and then there's more people, more VTubers in China saw this, and they were like, "Oh, I'm interested," so they started joining it as well. Second season of second season we were in IVGDC. That was season 7. IVGDC season 7. We peak time we had 9 drivers participating in one round. 9 drivers.
Wow.
That was the peak time. Um, and some drama happened, and so we stopped racing there. And then like we just started racing elsewhere. We started racing Chinese sim racing series. Um, and just gaining reputation here and there, finding out there's more racing VTubers. And then the biggest blow up was that one time where we made a video. I think it was back then in China. There was a meme. So you know how the Max Verstappen meme, where the Max
Yes,
Verstappen
yes, yes,
lap
yes.
time, not the Max Verstappen walking out gif with the lap time next to it. Yeah, that became a meme in China. So I decided to
Wow.
say, okay,
That
we can
became
do
a
something.
meme? Oh shit.
Yeah. That became a very popular meme because that got took out of context. That got way outside of like racing community. It has like been taken to the general public because, for example, they think it's our farming. It's like our farming meme, but in China, I guess. So like, um, it's like our farming, and I was like, so we can catch on to the trend. It's our farming anyway. So I was like, we can do that for our VTuber self as well. So we have our VTuber models walking out, and then have a lot of times that there's our farming, and then that video blew up. That video got viral, got like 100K views on Bilibili, and suddenly the team's account DM had so many VTubers rushing in, asking, "Can I join?" And I said yes to all of them. That was like 20 of them. It was like one
Wow.
third of the team joined at that period. It was like loads of people. I just let them in. Some people weren't active. I was like, whatever, because let them in doesn't cost you anything. But if one of them is active, you get a gem. That's like finding a gem. That's like, and a lot of them, like half of them, is actually active even till now, and they're actively racing with us. And yeah, some of them achieve really good scores as well. So and yeah, and then we just continue to grow, and then we had our like first ever foreign member. That's when we decided we could go global as well. Because why are we staying close in this Chinese community when there's more racing VTubers out there? So that's when we went global. We had more and more foreign members as well, and we had Inazuma as well. Um, and then we have Jordan, and then we have all these people joining as well. So yeah, it's basically the story of X-Ray, I guess.
Could I even say that right now you might have one of the biggest racing clubs in the
It
VTuber
is.
community? Is it
It
the
is.
biggest
It
or
is.
is it like
It
one of
is
the
already
biggest?
the biggest. It was already biggest like 2 years ago. Because right now the second biggest I think it's Mirai. I think they have 15 or 16 members, but like 2 or 3 years ago we already had 20 members, so we are already the world's biggest.
I
Like 2 or
see.
3 years ago. So, um, yeah, we are biggest, and we are like far in the lead with this. At least in member count, yes,
I
biggest.
see. I see. Okay. So let's talk about your recent race event. Project V24, right? You're the one that hosted, right? If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So how did that idea came about? And it's more like a very big project at this point because it involved. I tried to check on the streams and stuff, check on the videos. Is it all being done live at this point? Because I'm also concerned about how does everyone's internet doing during the time as well. Because when it comes to racing latency, everything is importance
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. So can you tell us a bit more how the idea came about for this racing project? This
So
the
yeah, I
technical
mean,
parts in managing it. Yeah.
yeah, so Project V24, how it came to be is that in our biggest Chinese sim racing community, Hypo, they every year they will host the N24 race at the beginning of the year. Um so last year in 2025, uh we were just that was the first year Hypo ever hosting it. It was
Mm.
a really new event. So me and a lot of drivers in Xtreme decided to run it, and of course, because it's a big event, it's a special event, I just invited like some other guest drivers, for example Ruby Nakamura, as our guest driver
Mm.
in a GD4 category running with us. Um, and we did decently well because I realized our advantage is that because we have time zone differences. And previously, when time zone differences are a difficulty, now it became an advantage because our all of our opponents are all sim racers in China. While they have to race at 3 a.m., we can just hand the car over to Ruby, who's in USA, and she's at like what, like 1 p.m. in the afternoon,
Yeah.
something like that. So she's driving comfortably while all the other Chinese drivers are suffering to not against the sleepiness at night time. We can just hand the car to the drivers who's like daytime, who can drive comfortably, so the other driver could go sleep comfortably, and it went so well. It went actually so well. Um, Now we got podium on that race. So that's why, after that race finished, I was like, maybe next year, what if we invite all the racing VTubers to this race? Like, all the racing VTubers from all parts of the world, they all have different time zones and they can work together. And, I know there's a lot of racing teams out there. In Malaysia, you guys have the Technobirds as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to showcase because, like, I've been telling, the Chinese sim racing community that there's a bigger world out there of, like, all these racing VTubers out there.
New
And,
skill,
they're
different kind of driving style, I guess.
yeah, 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 and like because and also big the thing is that hypo has been really enclosed. It's like just like us before our first four member. It's like only Chinese only. There wasn't like accessible for like foreign drivers or whatever. So I want to make a breakthrough. I want to make a breakthrough. I want to it's like both way thingy. I want to introduce the Chinese sim racing community to the outside world, and I also want the outside world to try out the Chinese sim racing community. It's a I want to be the one that connects the bridge, and this is my first step. Project V24 is my first step. I just want to invite racing VTubers from all over the world into this race. Um, Obviously, like the technical part, that there's like a lot of stuff going on because I'm the only one managing this. Is has caused a lot of burnout for me. It's had caused way more burnout than what I'm doing for content creation right now. That's why it's also another reason why I am a bit more resistant to burnout right now because Project V24 really, really just made me suffer. It's like suffer as in a good way. It's like, it made me learn to love lessons on how to deal with things more efficiently. Because it's only me managing it. I have to manage every aspect. For example, promotion. I have to make videos for it. Second thing is that translation. There was no English version of the rule book. I had to translate every single word in the rule book into English and make it understandable for
How
the
many
foreigners.
pages is that rule books?
10 pages.
Okay, that's a lot.
And there's a lot of technical terms you need to explain clearly as well. And
Whoa,
then,
technical terms.
yeah, a lot of technical terms as well. So, um, then there is also the internet part where I need everyone to test it. I need to manage the sign up of every driver as well. There was like 40 of them. There was like 8 teams, 9 teams, and 40 something drivers. And I need to manage, the sign up, the promotional, um, the rule book, translation, and if they encounter any issue, they need to feedback to the race stewards. I need to do that as well. So like everything, I'm just the middleman. Like I am just the chat GPT for the racers, but I am a human being. Like any problem that the race encounter, the race, if the race has any issue regarding the foreign drivers, they come to me. If the foreign drivers have any issue regarding the race, they also come to me. The biggest issue was the time zone issue because you know sometimes the race side, they will come to me at my 2 a.m. They will
Mm.
say, oh, this foreign driver had this sign up issue, you need to go tell them that. So I will have to go ahead and tell them that, and hello there, and then like and then like um and it's like, so back then I lost like 15 kilograms of weight in a month alone. I prepared
Whoa,
this
15
throughout the
kilogram
entire.
is a lot,
Yes,
you know.
I never. First of all, I had like a big sickness at the start of December, but I need to start preparing right away. So I prepared in my sickness. I had fever, 39-degree fever, headache. Um, I wasn't able to eat anything for 2 days straight. Um, and basically throughout the entire December, I just locked myself in my room. I never went out for once. Like the
Oh,
only time I
damn.
went out was to collect my food delivery. That's it. Sometimes I don't even call for deliveries because I'm too busy. I just in the fridge there's pepperoni. I just eat the raw pepperoni, like straight away,
Whoa, whoa,
raw
whoa!
pepperoni. That's
Raw
the only meal for the
pepperoni.
day. Yeah, that's the only meal for the day.
Is it
I
even
don't eat anything
safe to
else.
eat raw pepperoni? Oh my
I think
gosh.
so. It's not raw. It's not completely raw. It's like those pepperoni you could directly put on pizza or something like that. Those pepperoni, I just eat it right away. I don't. That's the only meal of the day. Like one meal per day
Oh my
because I'm too busy.
gosh.
Because like I sleep. My sleep schedule is completely messed up. I only sleep 3 hours per day because there are everything I need to deal with. Because the Chinese side of the race side will come to me say, "Oh, something went wrong with this racer," and the racer will come to me say, "Something went wrong with the server. I can't connect, and I don't know how to install this. I don't know how to install that." It's all happening in different time zone. We have people from all over the world coming to me at the same time, not at the same time, but at different times. So they all come at their most comfortable time. So I gotta stay awake basically 24 hours straight to deal with those because the time is very much running out. There was no time to waste. If I waste any time, there might be chances that some drivers are not be able to race. So I cannot waste any time. So I had to stay awake 24 hours to make sure that everyone can get in the race properly and the race side is satisfied with whatever is happening. There was loads of drama. I can go for 5 hours. I can talk about this for 5 hours. Everything happening. It was just a very memorable event for me because I was the only one managing everything. I had to go from editing videos. I edit videos as well. It's not like short videos anymore. I had to make very fire edits. It takes me 12 hours to make. One of the most memorable stuff was I almost finished editing the video, and then one of the team told me saying, "Oh, they're not gonna race anymore." But I was like, "I just made you guys a video of promoting your team, and then you're not gonna race anymore. I'm not even gonna post it. Like, I just spent 12 hours making it. Like, it was just very overwhelming. A lot of stuff going on. Felt very burned out. I don't even know who I am at those at some moments. Like, I couldn't even have time practicing for my own team in this race. It was just pretty much just messed up. Lots of stuff, too many stuff going on at the same time. I cried so many times, but I tell myself I had to keep on going because that's what I promised everyone. I will make this good. I will make this good, and I did make this good. Um, like
The fruit of the result that gives the satisfaction.
yes, I legit really just lost 15 kilograms because I didn't really never really ate during that month. It's just like pepperoni every meal. It's like worse than prison, I guess. I did not even care. I did not even care for myself. I
I would
had
be
no. I don't
more
have.
concerned like if I known you earlier and if we are like very close, I would like, bro, please get a proper meal. I will but like I used to have a friend like this. I will bug him every day and like you know what? I'll even fork out money just to make sure that they are eating well. Like hearing this is oh my gosh. Ah.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
me being too busy and forgetting to eat. I just eat whenever. Like I don't know. Like because my curtain is closed. I never went outside. If I don't look at the clock, I don't know what time it is outside. That's how hard I'm working. Like I never rested for a single day during that time.
Yeah.
Uh, it was quite something. So I mean, content creation doesn't burn me out at this time. So like because content creation to me now is just much less you know um requiring demanding like um it's like yeah at that time I was like I said I was gonna make videos and then because I just finished dealing with the sign up so I said oh I'm gonna make videos that was 11 p.m. I was like okay I'm gonna make video until 4 a.m. then I'll go sleep sounds fair. One time I went to sleep 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I did not
Yikes.
realize that until I finished making the video. And that was
Yikes.
one video. I made like 5 videos, 5 different videos. Um, so this happened 5 times, and
Yikes.
yes, um, it's also my first time editing video. I never learned how to edit video, so I had to look up tutorials. It's like doing this without any experience, nobody helping you. It's all on your own, and you gotta manage 40 people. You gotta manage 40 people, all the videos, all the connections, all the translation, uh, and your own team at the same time. So I was like multitasking
A lot
at
of
my
things.
maximum.
I
Yes.
would say that you have a lot at hands. I would say.
Yeah. I mean, in Chinese we have a saying like like what was it called? Can I just say in Chinese? You probably heard of it
Yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. Don't worry. My stream
不
you
先
can say.
将众人于世人也，必将苦其心志劳。What was it like? Like when heaven's like lending big responsibility to a man, it must first suffer the man.
Okay lah, I'll give you
Mentally.
the simplified Malaysian version of this because I know
Yeah.
all Malaysian will know. 先苦后甜. Settle.
Basically, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that we because you know what? Speaking about culture a bit, like I'll touch a bit of culture. Sometimes, not to say that. Sometimes, because sometimes I deal with China clients. Some of the word is like very complex, but then I found out like in Malaysian translation. Let's give the easier version. No offense, though. No offense, though. Not to say that there's any negativity. It's just that sometimes there are way simpler things to say. I don't know. But yeah, I would love to learn more about the we call this suyi from China as well because sometimes there are more different meanings and Malaysian we tend to simplify it because we just want to make things easier to understand, I guess. We have our own localized Chinese language as well. So yeah. Don't take any offense for that though. Just
Yeah,
saying.
don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, 先苦后甜，成果一定是很好的啊。
Yep, true.
But at the same time, I would say you do your things hands on. You're learning a lot of things.
Yes.
I'll
And
relate that a bit to how I did my music. I never actually attended music class. I'll be honest. I never attended music class. My mom, you know lah, typical Chinese parents. 好好的读书去赚钱，做工9点到5点。Translation to our
9-5.
Malaysian 9-5 daily job, get a good result, become a lawyer, doctor. There you go, you're all set for life. But like I wanted to do music very young. So what I did was I learned all the cracks. I do hands-on. I learned how to make music myself. My mom is not willing to spend like a few $1,000s to send me to music classes or even DJ classes. I have to learn everything myself. You know what? Even like the performance, I told you that my first DJ performance, right? It took me a month. Like it's before that, 1 month before the my first show, I got my first DJ controller, and I really burned myself out in learning how to do DJ within 1 month. So, but at the
yeah,
same time, the good thing is when you do things hands on, right? You start to find unique things that tutorials will not even teach you, but then you found out about it. It's actually much more useful compared to tutorials.
yes,
That's why I usually agree to do my things hands on. I totally
yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, doing all this experience in Project V24 just really helped with the video production as well. Because and it helped me with my racing as well. Because I had to. Essentially, it's just my racing in a nutshell. Basically, too much condensed. It's like
Mm.
you gotta talk to different teams, you gotta talk to different people, and then you gotta make content. That's just literally what I'm doing right now.
You basically
Like
can run
on
your
a daily
own team
basis,
at this
sort of. So
point.
yeah, it's like
It's like
after
PR.
this.
It's
Yeah.
like public relation at the same time. You're
Yes.
doing
Yes.
public
Yes.
relation, you're learning how to make content, you technically can start a company. If I were to put it in the nutshell, like I would put it in the nutshell, it's not wrong. You're doing
Yeah.
everything
It's
by
not.
yourself.
Mm.
You're doing public relation, you're managing all the races. You can technically become a PR company for racing as well. Yeah, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. 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 True.
Yeah.
True. True. Yeah. I mean, it is all the requirement needed to start for a company. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's good that you learn everything hands on.
Yes. Yes.
It
True.
because it's like this. Like a lot of people told me that they went to classes. Uh, this kind of things went to classes about project management and stuff. They come out, they learn nothing. They don't know how to manage people. until they actually meet people and understand how to manage them. Because like, just put it simple, whether you like it or not, human relationship is a very complex thing. This is why drama happens. Okay, so
Mm.
it really takes the process of learning how to manage different kind of people from different culture in order to satisfy everyone. So I'm kind of surprised that now that I found out you're the only one managing the whole thing, which I thought it was managed by a group of people, but no, it's managed by one people, which is you. I'm more surprised. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like like this podcast, right? I've been learning a lot of new things from you, and and you know what? You have my utmost respect. Like really,
Thank you.
it's rare for me to even say that. Not because of what, because I spoke to a lot of people. I collaborated with a lot of people previously when I'm still active in the VTuber community. It's rare to see this kind of people, which is why indirectly saying there's a lot of stuff happen. I slowly started doing dual content instead of focusing on VTubers lah, which helps me to build my own characters and content at the same time. So yes, I'm still glad to see there are people who actually are like this, who puts in a lot of effort, willing to do everything themselves to make it work, and and most importantly dedication lah. So
Mm.
yes, very utmost respect. I'm more surprised, like I'm like thinking back the way that even the poster you done all of them right by yourself. Even the poster, I would.
The artwork.
Yeah, yeah.
The artwork is I commissioned someone, but it's also at the same time it's very still I need to put in a lot of effort because there's a lot of stuff I need to tell the others what to do. But other than the poster, everything's done by me. So
Yeah, yeah. So I'm very surprised on this. Yeah, I can see that this is a very 要怎么讲 blood sweat tear kind of thing. It's really a blood sweat tear kind of
yes,
project.
yes,
Yes.
true, and I can learn from it. So it's, I guess in the end, it's worth it, no matter what the result is. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're about to host another one this year.
Yes, yes, definitely. 2027. We will. I will learn from the experience this time and do it better. Obviously,
Mm,
yes.
yes. Well, I'm looking forward to it. All the best. I wish I could join this kind of things. Is because of my PC. I have a very old PC right now, which is affecting the way I'm doing content as well. But I wish I
Mm.
could play more racing games as well. uh, Speaking of that, like let's touch a bit of games. It's just a off thing that I just want to speak about. Most of the time you're playing this Pacific sim race. What is it? Which Pacific sim games are we talking about?
Um, I mean, back in like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, it's probably gonna be ACC, a set of course of competizione. But recently, we've switched to more of like iRacing because obviously VTrack is switching over into iRacing,
uh
and at the same time, ACC stopped updating, and so we are forced to go somewhere else, I guess. So iRacing is our way. Yeah.
iRacing is a subscription base, right? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
it is. It is a subscription based.
That
Yes.
was the one that turned me off from playing sim race. I I can't afford to pay every month for sim games. I mean, it's a good game. I did actually check out the game, and I went to this sim racing cafes and play it once before. It is a good game. It's just that I can't play it on a subscription basis. Uh, on a busy schedules. But anything unique other any other games other than this which you're also playing than sim racing iSim racing, is it the name or
I don't play other games a lot. I mean, I do play some FPS game like Counter Strike, but that's about it.
I see. Well, no worries about it. At least we know that you play this sim racing more often, the subscription based that game. I keep forgetting the name, so sorry about it. Uh okay. I think this one was a question that I got from my last guest, but I will also give you the same question on this. So we spoke about a previous guest of mine, Corey Ojo from the US. She actually collaborated with the NASCAR. For those who didn't know about it, can check out the my old podcast, episode 2. We spoke about IRL event collaboration with VTubers. How do you think the motorsport communities will react with VTubers? Like, because you are considered like the pioneer for racing VTubers. I would assume that if we were to say you started 5 years ago, would you want to see more collaboration with motorsport and VTuber together at this
Yeah,
point?
that's definitely happening. That is definitely happening. I have my own plans for that, and last stream just, I mean, my last stream was just like 12 hours ago. There was also people talking about plans, future upcoming plans, regarding this. Um, there's like, let's just say we are trying to bring more VTubers into in real life racing. Not just the ones who already did in real life racing. We're trying to bring more who only did sim racing before, but you know, who want to get into in real life racing. We will get them into in real life racing. Um, Starting by endurance races because obviously it is cheaper. Um, Compared to having people to race on their own.
Yeah.
And also because endurance races we can provide more guidance and it's a bit more like a collab because we it's like few VTubers racing together in the same team in real life. How amazing
Mm.
is that? I have a lot of plans for that. That will probably take place in August this year. There will be a race in August this year that we will probably race in. I will have more details soon, like an official announcement, like probably later on this year regarding this. But we need every VTuber who's wanting to run in this to be able to run in this first. That's the first thing. But yeah, other than that, I mean, motorsport side, I do see there's gonna be more collabs. I mean, even if it's like involving and inviting in real life drivers, I think that is definitely going to able to. I can see that coming in the future. Obviously, with me getting into more professional racing, I will be able to know
Serve
more.
as the medium, I would say.
Yes, me and Inazuma as well. He's in Japan right now, and he knows a lot of like professional racers as well. So, which is a good thing. And he says, he can always invite them onto the stream. So I don't see why not. Like it's definitely going to happen. It's like this is a region, this is a community that's like hasn't been explored yet. The collaboration between motorsport and VTuber, it's like
Yes.
it hasn't this topic hasn't been explored enough yet. It's like it's just only began
It
just this.
started, but not a lot of people are bringing, because like when I found out about the NASCAR collab last year, I thought it was crazy because, you know, how should I even say? It goes a bit traditional to the younger days, whereby a lot of people are not fond with anime stuff, or people thought that, oh yeah, an adult liking anime stuff is like a childish thing. There's a lot of very stereotype people during the earliest days when it comes to VTubing and related to anime stuff. So I find it hard to actually see that it's not that I find it hard, it's just like because the community acted this way. So I would assume that it would not really happen unless it's someone very big influential, like, no offense, Hololive will be doing something like that, but until now somehow they haven't did anything similar yet. So yeah, I would love to see what you can come up with in the upcoming future, especially with motorsports and VTubers. It's gonna be big actually. It's going to be a unique content direction. Mm.
Yeah. Um True. That is what I'm working towards right now because this unique content has been attracting a lot of viewers, and a lot of followers, and so I want to make this big because for some a lot of viewers in my comments, they would say like, oh, they just realized this is a thing. And I believe there's a lot more people out there who haven't saw me, and I believe when they saw me, when they know me, they will say the same thing. So that's why I'm trying my best to promote myself out there for more people to see.
Mhm.
We are here, we exist, and you know, and we are thriving. So yeah, the plan is just to get more VTubers to do more in real life racing, and we will make it make racing
More
you know
accessible.
what yes, more accessible. That's one thing. Make fans feel more anime related, more VTuber related at the
Yes.
racetrack. But how will we do that? It's I guess I'll announce that later on in the year when we actually announce the race. But currently we have plans like, for example, doing like life size cutout boards of our PNG in the pit
I saw
box.
that. I saw that. I saw
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's what I did in F4. But later on, maybe when we do the endurance race, we're gonna do that, in front of the pit box again. It's like we're gonna make our pit box look like a Comic Con.
You know what?
That's
I'm just gonna say you're doing quite similar to what this Good Smile company is doing, except we are having more VTubers. The better.
yeah,
Something like that. Yes.
exactly, exactly.
It would be
So
interesting. I would suggest, I'll give an idea. I would suggest if you can get someone to cosplay over there.
it's definitely going to happen. We have
Yeah.
loads of stuff like that planned. It's gonna look like a Comic Con. Like it's gonna feel like if you stumbled upon our garage, you probably feel like, oh, I'm not still in that racetrack. You would feel like, oh my, I might be at a Comic Con. That's what the vibe we're gonna give off.
I'm looking forward to it. Exactly. I'm so looking forward because it's gonna be because like like corporate. I would assume all the racetracks team corporate they do things a bit too official, and
Mm,
then you have something that is acting differently. So last year I also had my pit walk experience for Super GT. A lot of the teams were very very busy, working on the cars and everything, preparing for the final race. And then this Good Smile company, which everyone knows is the Hasune Miku company, the one that is running the Mercedes Miku GT, AMG GT. They were giving us stickers and files and having
yeah,
cosplayers everywhere, allowing third party cosplayer or indie cosplayer to go in and shoot with their cars. Like
yeah,
they are already prepared. No need to do any final checkout on the car. They are already there signing autographs like it's nothing. Like
yeah.
it's very
Exactly, exactly.
community based, very
Yes,
interactive. There's a give and take, not just like I'm there, I'm just focusing on the race rather than focusing on the fans. It's a two
yeah,
different things.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see that kind of thing happen. Yeah. So I guess I had to skip some question because you can't review the plans yet. But what I could say is for your existing fans, how would you want them to support both your racing career as your VTuber journey?
I mean, for my fans, I guess I would just say, keep on just following my journey. Obviously, I'm documenting everything of me trying to get into GT4 at the moment, and just let more people know about my existence. Because obviously, you know, I I'm not even asking my fan for a penny. I'm not even asking for a donation on stream. I know, I don't think my fans should be paying me. I think the sponsors are the ones that should be paying me. And the only way to attract sponsors is that I have enough followers, I have enough fans. So, it would be the best if you can get more people to follow me. That would be the best. Um, so to support me, it's easy. Just I mean, if you can, definitely pull up to the actual race event in real life and then watch me race. Um, that'll be awesome. if you'll be there, and then you can tag me on Instagram or whatever on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, I saw you Midnight Hurricane. I saw you at the racetrack." That would be awesome. I really love to see people doing that to me, tagging me, saying, "Oh, yeah, I saw you at the racetrack or whatever. And you did really well." Like I really, like, to support me. I really just don't have a lot to say, like, do this, do that, pay me, pay that. No, I'm not like those streamers. I'm just saying, I'm just here for the content, to bring people, showing people that we VTubers, racing VTubers, we can race, we can make things great, um, and yeah, just continuously watch how this grows, and always leave a like on the videos. Keep following, and just tell your friends to follow as well if you can. And I guess that about be it. Like, uh, yeah, like, I don't really want to ask my fan to go extremely support me by paying, like, economically pay me something. I don't want my fans to be like that. I just want my fans to enjoy my content, and witness and feel that greatness when a racing VTuber can do well in real life racing. I guess,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be the word.
that's the most important part, guys. It's not about giving monetary support. It's about supporting them to the end until they rise up to the podium. That's the most
Yeah.
important one. Well, I mean, right now is, I think that was the last question, but I have one last question. One last
Hmm.
question. It's personally for me. Would you be able to come to Malaysia soon?
Malaysia. This is a good question because if
Because
there's
Malaysia
no
has a lot of GT race. I'll be honest with you. I'm attending 2 to 3 of them this year, because we had 2 GT challenges this year. I'm not sure if I will be seeing a familiar mutual who is also a VTuber somewhere. We will never
um
know.
Yeah, for Malaysia, I'm not sure because obviously I had to find a team to enter me into a race first. I don't know if that's happening. Um, but, like, I do have plans of return to China for some races. Obviously I have, like, teams in China invited me to do TCR with them. So, um, I guess Malaysia, sure, sometime maybe, because I've raced there before with the go karts and stuff. Wonderful racetrack in Sapan. I loved it. Um,
Yes, Sepang. Yes, it
so
is Sepang.
yes, very, 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 very wonderful track. So I liked it, and if there's a chance for me to maybe go race in um Malaysia, I would definitely take it. I would just take any opportunity for me to race right now. Like, really, I'm not even kidding. Just like, I'm just talking to all the teams right now in UK. I'm asking, like, oh, can I race this? Can I race that? And they'd be like offering me opportunities. I've been like, okay, maybe I could try this. I could try that. Just taking opportunities right now, just to see where I can end up on. If you don't never take opportunities, you never know. So
You
yeah,
never
if there's
take, you never
opportunity,
know. That's why every
exactly.
opportunity is important.
Oh, the
Yes.
chat just asked, is the goal a side game sponsor? Yeah, I mean, if I can get a side game sponsor, that would be really cool. My, like, one of my dream is that somehow side game will add me into my Musume. Like, if it's not a playable character, even if it's like an NPC, I take it. I really just take it. But yeah, if like side game's willing to sponsor me, that's excellent. Hell, I'll do like Uma Musume Tasha on my livery if I have
Oh,
to.
I
Yeah,
would say for personal experience, especially like I talk to sponsors for some of my stuff. It's really, you never try, you never know.
exactly. I think
I'll,
so as
I'll
well.
be honest, like I'll be honest. It's like sometimes I have random ideas. I come up with proposal. I send them a random email, and you know what? Somehow they reply. It's kind of weird. Sometimes you question: is it a dream or is it just you? But in fact,
Yeah,
it's real. Which is why, yeah, guys, for those everyone out there, if you have a dream or you want to do something, as long as it's not illegal, You never try, you never know. That's how you
Yeah,
actually
definitely
make
go try
content.
it because like
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing I've realized after coming to UK is like you have to talk to people to get, you always have to try and then talk to people to see, and then you just always end up having like, different opportunities. Like for example, this GT4 opportunity, how it came to be is that um I was at a go-kart track
Yeah.
and I just saw an advertisement of the team saying they offer F4 testing. So I dialed it up. I asked them, "Oh, can I do F4 testing with you guys?" And they were like, "Oh, sure, do F4 testing with us." And then I did, and they saw my talent. They were like, "Oh my god, you're kind of fast. Do you want to do GT4 with us?" And yeah, here we are. It's really just in a nutshell, like 2 words you can summarize this story, but it's like really amazing how them posting an ad at a track, and they said that I told them about, like, I saw their ad at the track, and they said that I'm the only one who actually came because of that ad. They said they put 600 pounds for that ad, and it's all worth it now. Yeah.
I'll give one more example from my side. As I told you, I got my first gig, right? So the funny way
Yeah.
how I got my gig was I was in the call with a bunch of VTuber friends, and I told them like, I want to try and perform IRL event for once. Let me message this event, which is considered the second biggest anime event in Malaysia. I sent them the email, they never reply. And when they start selling tickets, I was like, yeah, let me just do a follow up. I said, hey, I sent you this email ago. It seems like you haven't get back to me if I really get this DJ gig or not. If not, I'm gonna buy the ticket. They say, oh, sorry, I sent your email to the wrong email address, which is the email for the other department. And they say like, you know what? You don't need to show us your portfolios. Do you want to do the closing stage? I'm like, huh? Closing stage? Last day? And that's how I got my that's how I got my first performance. I saved that email in my business email, and I kept it today, and I keep having a good laugh about it. So yeah, never try, you never know. If you have a dream, just go for it.
True. True.
Make dreams be dreams. So yeah, we come to the end of the podcast. Once again, I am very grateful to have a Midnight Hurricane here to share with us all the things related to racing. I think it gives a lot more insight to all the people who have a very skeptical ideology, including me, about racing, because I would assume that racing is a very dangerous sport until I found out that there are a lot of safety things that we are not aware that is happening at the racetrack. And technically, anyone can become a racer. So if you
Yes.
want to become Lightning McQueen, why not? Go for it. That's a joke. So yeah, thank you so much again, and for my stream, I'll be ending
Problem.
already. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.